comment, like,
share, and subscribe.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Spicy, tasty vegan cuisine. Yeah.
That's why the brother pointed out. Our challenge had been dealing with our folks, because we know what the other's perspectives are.
Yeah, we know that though.
Yeah, we know what those perspectives are. So
Yeah.
the bottom line is, it looks like this is the perfect time, because the heads of the states have been taken off. You know that. It looks like the swamp is being drained, because now they no longer have the big heads to hold on to. So it's those others that were working for them and their relatives. Okay? And I see them being taken out. That is why Mom and I are just staying put, like that character they named in Roots Kissing, until things get better. And they are. We see it right before our eyes. And as a result of that, we're going to have less folks on the planet. And as I said before, can you imagine in your mind a planet without stupid and people or people in fear?
That's the we have made it.
Yeah, Bobo, we got to hear your perspective on this.
Oh, yes, interesting. From a Gambian perspective, talking about the disenfranchisement of all people, of African people everywhere. That's already a cause for us to unite. Wherever we are in, where we are all disenfranchised in many ways. In America, in Gambia, in Ethiopia, where we have people call themselves, all the names, Black American. Yeah, fine. Amharic, you are from Ethiopia, Amharic, and we went over to America. So, it's all about going back to the originalities and finding out these realities, bringing them out, and sharing it with one another. But we need a lot of work to do. First, we need to heal ourselves. We're talking about the egocentricness. That's already a spiritual blockage. So that we need to heal. If people are not working collaboratively, that's already an issue from the spirit. But spirits are united already. So why are you not manifesting that from a physical level then? That's a blockage between your energy channel. So the food and the right combinations will be a tool to remedy that, traumatic situation we find ourselves.
Well, it was pointed out by one of the doctors here in the Gambia that Mama's concoction, when you take things like that to detox yourself, and you start to have an intake of food that serves your body, then the chromosomes start to come back together. And that means that the aging process as we know it retards, slows down, and even reverses. And once you come together with your chromosomes, you come together with your higher self. Because all of us have had our DNA tweaked. That's just part of our experience. Mama is raising a dog, a vegan dog. She has to start at one point, but once again, it changes that you have to change the DNA. You have to do it slowly. It doesn't happen overnight. And we're changing our DNA by our intake, whether it's the food we take or our thoughts. That is why we had the healthy, well-being lives. And basically, we put that out there using divine principles. Because the more you give thanks for what you have, the more you're given to be thankful for. And if you do anything up to 21 or more consecutive days, you start to break the habits. And we pointed out it's very difficult fighting against your subconscious. That's what we developed from the time where our inception up until about 70. But if you create a different paradigm, a different model, rather than fighting against that, it makes it easier. So we've suggested when you get up in the morning, give thanks for at least 5 things. Of course, you got to go to the bathroom, especially if you open this up.
Drink plenty of water.
Give thanks.
Yes.
Give thanks.
That's very important. Yes. I can't believe people don't drink water. I know.
Well, hydration is part of your intake. But if you give thanks for 5 things and do it with feeling, and I can give you that information because when you do it with feeling, the vibration helps to manifest things. And you also forgive one person or one thing. And the one thing I pointed out before could be the cow that's brushing up against your fence, or the goat that's jumping over eating things in your garden. It could be the cow that's grunting at night so you can't sleep, or the chicken that's pooping in the walkway you just swept up. Or it could be a person. And as I said before, forgive them for two reasons. They were doing the best thing they could at the time you felt they did or didn't do what you thought would hurt, hinder, or harm you. And remember I said you thought, because sometimes we can be mistaken. But you forgive that person because at the time they were doing the best they could with their level of awareness, their understanding, inner or overstanding, their knowingness, their desire or willingness to change. And you forgive yourself, God, because nothing could happen without your participation. Whether you put something in place lifetime before or this lifetime. So you forgive yourself because at the time you did or didn't do whatever the act was, you were doing the best you could at that time. If you want to elevate it, you can go to 7 and 2 or 10 and 3. But by using the divine principles, the more you give thanks, the more you give and be thankful for. And when you do that, you get a mindset of not only being humble, but also forgiving and inclusive of everyone.
Forgiveness is believing. You know, the more you forgive, the more you clear out the toxicities in your energy. You know? So you will see people will forgive at on their dying bed, their last breath, they will release and forgive. That was holding that person, the individual was holding that. He could not fly away. That grudge or whatever what is was holding, harboring of negative emotions, prolonging, you know, has a very negative consequences in your spirit even you live in. So, you know, the earlier, some will do it instantly in a day, or some will do it a week or a month. Some will do it instantly after the incident. Of course, there's a high kind of spirit there manifest. You know, analyzing the issues and then finding the forgiveness part of it. Moving.
You know, Spicy Tasty in our book, it points out, unless you forgive, you can't heal. Because your thoughts create your body's situation.
Wow. Thank you for that. Well, today we just decided to I think it's another lady, Sharon Brown.
Yes.
You met her. Yeah, Sharon, she's supposed to come today, so we're really looking forward to seeing her because she put some really positive information out there about, I think it was 5 or 6 women here in the Gambia that she highly esteemed us. And I mean, it's just rewarding because there's so much going on, negative and all of that, but for her to point out to Cynthia, Susan Barr, and the Bad family, and then she said something about 2 other people.
Phoenix, she mentioned.
And Phoenix, she mentioned Phoenix, and then I was shocked, she mentioned me too.
I was shocked when she mentioned me.
Yeah, so you were the one she
So you were the
mentioned.
teacher she talked about.
Yeah,
You heard some wonderful
okay.
things about you.
So you know when you
Thanks
hear,
for coming.
yeah, well, I'm glad you pointed that out because I know that there were 3 other people. I wasn't sure, but yeah, we met her. I think the same time I met you.
Yes.
And Mo too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was what, about 8 months ago?
Yes.
You said. Wow.
Yes.
It's just amazing, you know, how now, you know, the Americans I've been hearing in the last year now, and now we're slowly beginning to meet them.
Yes.
And so it's really wonderful. And like you said, Bobo, yeah, we do need some healing because all of us have come from some very challenged situations, like myself, even in the household as a child, growing up, but not having my own father, and everyone else had theirs. But I was the oldest, and I knew that I wanted to one day not be in that situation. So I prepared myself to get out and, you know, finish high school at 17, so at 18, when my mother said, well, you have to leave at 18 because you don't follow rules, or you don't want to do this or that or another. So I prepared myself at 18. I was out there. And it wasn't easy. So I know all of us, have had to go out and deal with some things, and it takes a long time to get through it. And then for those of us who've gotten through it and we were able to make it here on the motherland, the continent, it's a blessing. Now I'm challenged, well, how come I can't go to Ethiopia, because I don't want to go through the testing, because I have a fear, to me, to taking any type of vaccination or any type of swabs, because I'm already working on my DNA, to stay healthy. I'm making an effort to do it. So I don't need anyone to tell me, oh, just loop us all together and say everybody needs a shot, or everybody needs to go through this, or whatever it is they want us to go through. Some are willingly going through it because they're under medical attention. So it's, one of my children said, I asked him, I said, did you ever take a flu shot? And he said, oh yes, when I was 35 or 37, the doctor asked me about it and he took it. So I learned that if you've taken one vaccination, then all the rest of them are following, for whatever reason. So hopefully those that have gone through it, we know that some have transitioned because their body couldn't deal with it. And I'm not sure if I may be on one way or another, so I'd rather just, as my husband said, just stay here where we are until hopefully some of our Africans, with their airlines, we can use them and not have to go through all of that in time. We can invest in it. We can. I mean, I went to school in the 70s with one African American. She and her family and friends, they chartered a plane to, I think, Tanzania, back in the Tanzania, back in the 70s.
You had it.
Tanzania.
Tanzania?
Yes, Tanzania. That's the one it is, but in those days we were indoctrinated to say Tanzania.
I'm like, you've been taught wrong the whole time.
Yeah. Well, because
I'm still getting over that the lion is the king of the giants, king of the jungle. The lion, and the lion don't even live in the jungle. I mean, they had so many things. Oh, girl, in America?
Yeah.
I mean, I look at it comedy. Let's look at it in terms of sunshine and shadow, okay? Because we take the collective of all that we've gone through that's helped to make us what we are today. And my wife is just a wonderful example of that. She's shown about the different challenges she's had to go through. And she's very modest about it. I mean, when she tells me what she went through, it's like, no! What did you do in another life to have to go through that? Anyway.
And then we have the sister, of course, your name is Shantae, yes.
My American name is Shantae. My Gambian name is Maimuna.
Maimuna.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, then we're going to have to use that name. Yes.
What is your name?
I'm not sure.
Uh-oh, girl.
I'm not sure what it means. One of the sisters, someone's, that's how you say mom. Someone's mom gave it to me, and I went to school with a sister named Maimuna, and I always liked her name. But I'm going to research it. I'm happy you asked me that, because I know it's a Muslim name.
Maimuna is a Muslim name.
It's a Muslim name.
One of the 12 women wives of Prophet Muhammad.
Oh, okay.
So one of the 12 wives? The prophet? The prophet had 12 wives?
I thought you could only have 4.
Muhammad. He had 12 wives?
Yes.
He didn't have them all at once. I know Khadijah was the first wife. So she must have died and then more wives. No, Aisha was one, or is that daughter?
Aisha also is a daughter of a friend.
A daughter?
Of a friend he married.
Of a friend, okay.
Father Abu Bakr.
Abu Bakr? Abu Bakr,
Abu
yeah.
Bakr is the father of Aisha. Aisha was married to him when she was 9 years old.
9 years old? Wow. But I'm sure I understand when men in those days of high esteem married those women, they just, I guess they paid for that wife. So when that wife matured to womanhood, that was the proper way of doing it, as I recall from the studies. But nowadays it's not like that.
According to the hadith, the story is related that Aisha and Prophet Muhammad he said she was given to him at the age of 6.
At the age of 6?
6, and they get consummated at 9. So she came to the house at 9.
At 9?
At 9, yeah.
After her cycle, I think. But you know, nowadays, you know, they call it like.
And then he also had one of his wife was from his son, daughter, the daughter-in-law. He had an adopted son called Zayd. Zayd, yes. Zayd was his adopted son, was a black man. He had his wife.
Okay.
Muhammad came in there and then he asked for the hand of marriage of his son daughter-in-law.
His daughter-in-law.
These are true narratives that Muslim schools teach out in the hadith. You have them there.
Yeah.
Many Muslims nowadays are so dumb to this.
They don't know.
It seems like a very new story that I haven't seen the blue. Right, you know, the scholars have been teaching about.
Yeah, there's a blessing when you do have that connection, you know, to the history. Because I believe that everybody, wherever we all come, we come with a form of history. Like we know ours more from America. And I understand being the Fuller tribe. You know, people say, oh, you're a Fuller. Well, I learned that the Fullers are the ones that travel throughout the world, the planet. And we're everywhere. So if we were in Egypt, you know, we were in Egypt and we were scholars and educators and all of that. And then when these invaders came in,
Comment, like, share, and subscribe.
follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Spicy, tasty vegan cuisine. Yeah.